Hey, Shalom, y'all about to see me outside Brakatha. Double honor to the apostles of great millstone. Your brothers will be pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. So I got a quick video here today. This is going into the national debt, U.S. national debt, okay, which is now at 20 trillion. Again, like I said in my previous videos, these are inconceivable numbers. Okay, what I mean by inconceivable is that it's hard to really put a finger on exactly how that looks like. So, but to put that into perspective, like I said in previous videos dealing with the United States economy, that we have to really realize about that one statement is that pretty much you have what's known as GDP, so the money generated, the value of a current an economy is measured using GDP, okay, and pretty much I believe that's higher than the output, higher than the gross domestic product of the United States as it stands. And if we look at it from another perspective, if everybody stopped paying 20% tax, 40% tax in the United States and started paying 100% tax, in other words, everything that you was making from the little guy working in McDonald's right on up to the guy that's the big boss in the big store or in the big bank, if everybody was paying 100% tax, in other words, taking nothing home, then you still wouldn't pay that off. Okay, so it's a lot of money, all right? And we know that these things are all set up by the elite banking families. That's why they set up these national banks. Okay, if you had it to where you had equal distribution of wealth, people having their own land, because they might say that the population of the world is too large, and you go out there into places like New York, London, okay, France, etc., etc. These hotspots countries, China, Beijing. Okay, then you have what's known as densely populated areas. Okay, but the fact of the matter is, people that are in the world right now have more than enough space, and I do really mean more than enough space. Okay, if you live in any major city, if you drive out the city for about an hour, you're seeing greenery for hours on end. Okay, meaning to say there's enough land for everybody to have their own land. And that's what you don't have within this society. You've got it to where you got money's not equally distributed, and that's just currency. Okay, but when it comes to wealth, that's even worse. You got it to where the wealth of the world is owned by 1% of the entirety of the population. They say that 1%. Okay, but really it's less than 1%, because the people that they call the 1% are billionaires. We know the elite banking families, in terms of wealth, not currency but wealth. Okay, they have an excess of trillions. Okay, they've absorbed all the gold within the world, okay, to themselves. That's why you got it to where countries have to borrow from these elite banking families. And that goes back onto the first initial point that I made about equal distribution of wealth. Because in any functional society, you got it to where you got the equally distribution. The wealth was equally distributed. Wealth had its, you didn't have it to where the higher ups just held wealth to themselves, and the whole economy and the whole thing worked. You look at the fall of Rome. Okay, the currency had to be devalued. Same thing that you're having out there within the United States. That's another parallel. Okay, right? You had it to where the currency was devalued because you had it to where you had what was it? The patricians. They was holding up all the wealth to themselves because they felt that they was the rightful rulers, and they had to live a certain type of life. And you had the plebeians, which was basically like your middle class right now. They were running dry out of money. And you got it to where it's worse now. Here it is. You had the denarii. I believe the denarii was silver. Okay, and over time they started devaluing how much silver content was actually in the denarii. Okay, if excuse me if I'm incorrect on that, but ultimately the same thing happened out there within the United States. Okay, currency is being devalued, but we're talking about currency. Back in the day, you had actual money, gold, silver, etc., etc. Okay, so you got it to where now you got in all of this type of debt. Okay, by way of these elite banking families, the money that you do have ain't real money because, well, the elite banking families have hoarded all the gold to themselves. But it's all systematic because now you're dependent on the currency that they allow you to issue. Okay, so when they topple over this system, as I've been saying over and over again, when a system is toppled over, you're gonna need a new system, right, to replace the existing currency-based system. Okay, the debt-based system. You're gonna need something that they're gonna say is more efficient. What's more efficient is everybody having their own gold and silver. Okay, that way everybody is as rich as the economy allows them to be. Okay, whatever position that they have a tangible wealth. Okay, in having intangible wealth, you can have it to where people bug out and spaz out, and you basically can make them do what you want. In fact, they say that the currency of slave is debt. So by way of having currency, okay, By way of having it to where you have a debt-based system, they can have you as slaves. And that's what they're going to do with this RFID chip and say, this is a more sustainable system. Okay. That's not gonna have it to where you're gonna be in 20 trillions worth of debt. All right. They're gonna mention that, you know, part of the problem of you being in $20 trillion worth of debt is because you was borrowing in excesses. Okay, you was going crazy out there, and they're gonna blame it on the people. So the people are gonna naturally float to the idea that they say is gonna be best. So this is what they call the Hegelian dialectic, I believe. Okay, pressure from above, pressure from beneath. So you go towards what they believe or what they want you to believe as the solution to your problems, and the solution to your problems, to the problems that they've given you, furthermore, is you being a slave. Okay, by way of this RFID chip. And you notice guys that, you know, these different camps like ISUPK, etc., they don't really go into these kind of things because, well, it points to the obvious. If you have $20 trillion worth of debt, okay, how are you going to get out of that? And once you got out of that, what are you going to use as a replacement? And how are you going to manage that replacement? You can't just, okay, we're going to default and set up a new currency. They're not going to do that. They already did that. They're going to talk about something that's new. Okay, that's why you got it to where they had an article just today dealing with, they said that 1.1 billion. Okay, and this was from the, I'm going to have to get an article. Excuse me, I'm going to be in the background here searching for this article. Okay, because pretty much that's a heavy article, right? It goes into how they're going to chip a lot of these people, okay, out there within the world. All right, just bear with me. I'm going on the other device, all right, to check out this article. I should have prepared it, but we do these things on the fly, you know. Okay, we just go in the spirit Yahweh Shem Shai, okay, and you know, whatever comes to mind. So in the spirit of what, you know, things come into mind, I've got this article here, all right, that was passed around in the chat, and if I just quickly find it within the chat on my phone here, which is in another hand I've got the recorder in another hand. So this is on Russia Today now. I found it. Okay. So if I open this in Chrome, it should take me to Chrome, right? We've got the scriptures there. All right, we used that last time on the last video. If I go to RT and we wanna go into an article dealing with it's lucky. We're going into an article dealing with, and I believe brother's already done a video, but this ties in quite nicely to this talk of the chip. So this is called US surpasses. No, that's not it. Okay, world of opportunity. You're right. Let's put world of opportunity, and then opportunity. Okay. And the article goes into way of an ID card. Okay, I believe that's gonna take us to what I need. Way of an ID card. All right. I'm sure someone done a video on it, but pretty much they said, you know, a certain amount of people out there. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Beautiful. A certain amount of people out there. All right, and this was said by bankers. Okay, this statement was said by, so this statement was said by bankers. So it says World Bank, right? World Bank has two ambitious goals: end extreme poverty. How do you think they're gonna do that, man? Right? How do you think they're gonna do that? It says end extreme poverty within a generation and boost shared prosperity. Okay, the gift of hearing. Etc. So I don't need to go into that. So we go into here. Where's the point? Okay. Where's the point? Let's find the point. Right, here we go. It says some 1.1 billion people in the world don't have an official proof of an identity. Remember, this is from the World. This is from the World Bank blogs or whatever, which greatly limits their ability to access services and benefits because they've created a debt-based system, and in order to access debt, well, you're gonna have to trace it to the person that's got that debt on them. In other words, you're gonna have to have someone you can contact to get your money back. All right, so it says here, which greatly limits their ability to access service and benefits, such as education or health. Right, with digital technologies, countries now have the power to efficiently change that. The World Bank Identification for Development Initiative is documented, right, through everyday ID as a story campaign, right? And we could search this thing out. Okay, we could do a little search on this. All right. If we go, if I grab that, okay, and I grab that, we should be able to get some more information on that. All right. So copy. All right, and throw that in there. Okay. Paste. All right. So go, and that should get us. Okay, that should get us into a more reliable article. So is that the same thing? So that's okay. So that was a legitimate. Looks like it was a legitimate. This is the legitimate World Bank site, if you will. So it says an estimated 1.1 billion people in the world are unable to prove their identity. How do you think they're gonna do that? They're gonna chip everybody, man. Okay, and they're gonna say it's in an aim to end poverty, in an aim to change all of this debt that you have and equally distribute the wealth. That's what they're gonna say. They've marketed this as a problem, okay, and they're gonna have their return on that. Let's see what else have we got here. Right, 10 principles of identification for sustainable. So they're saying this is gonna be a sustainable means of expanding. And look, they already got the technology. They've got the card there. How are they gonna move away from the card and make a more secure system? They're gonna give you the chip, man. Okay. So, as brothers have mentioned before, they've got multiple problems that they've created, and the chip's gonna be the main solution that they're gonna have. It is gonna be the chip, the solution to everything. Okay, it says national debt surpassed 20 trillion for the first time in U.S. history on Friday. It said according to data released, the total national debt climbed 318 billion to 20 trillion as of Friday. Okay. They're gonna have to default. It says the deal signed by Trump, which also allocated more than 15 billion in disaster aid for the Hurricane Harvey. All right, passed 316 to 90 in the House vote. All opposed to measure were Republic. Okay, right. Surpassing 20 trillion in debt is latest indicator of our nation's dire fiscal conditions. So these hurricanes that they've had out there, they've made this financial system, that financial way worse. Okay, and they talk that they talk that Esau did that. Okay, through his technologies, and which is possible, but we know ultimately it's Yahweh Shem Shai that's in the storm. Okay, whether it be by way of the technologies that he's blessed Esau with, or directly. Okay, so now you got to where this money, that's this extra debt, has come by way of these hurricanes, man. Okay, but the solution to all of these things is gonna be what? It's gonna be that chip, man. Right, the 10 principles of identification for sustainable development, and that goes into this this idea of the World Bank Identification for Development notion, and that's gonna go into the chip. I mean, the cards are on the table, man. The cards are it's on the table. Right, much of these things is hard to it's hard to gainsay. You really can't gainsay none of this, man. Okay, the truth is the truth. So, so hopefully with that was of edification. I apologize, for the lack of preparation and that. But like I said, we do these things on the spirit. Hopefully that was of edification. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. All praises unto Yahweh Shem Shai. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. And honors to brothers that pushing this truth in sincerity. Yahweh Shem Shai Ratazar. I'll see you in the next one. Shalom.